cut to the chase, friends. Work-life balance is bullshit. Yes, can I get an amen on that? We are at Work-Life Balance Church today. Amen. It is bullshit. I really think that this entire theory, this phrase, has set us up to fail. Because when I hear the term work-life balance, what I imagine is myself on a teeter-totter, right in the center there, right? And I start to spend a bit too much time at work, and it starts to tip. Uh-oh, better get back to life. I guess we're putting everything else in that category. So I start to shimmy over and balance it out, and then it's too much life, and now I gotta get back to work. So you shimmy back across again. And just this idea of trying to balance and shift back and forth, it feels stressful, and it feels overwhelming. And that's exactly how I did feel in 2014. Now, would you agree that there are times in our lives where we need to spend more time and energy in one area than another? How many of you open a business? It takes a lot of time and energy, right? Worked on a project at work, a promotion. How many mothers are in the room? Yeah, that's a lot of time with those babies when they're first born, right? There are times when we have to put more time and energy into certain things. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be made to feel like I failed if I choose to spend more time or energy in one area of another. But that's how I did feel. In 2014, I was a full-time realtor. So it's nothing what it looks like on TV, actually. No, none of that's true. But we do show houses and we do write offers. But there's a lot more to it. When you're a realtor, you're a business owner. So you're an accountant, you're a marketing person, you're the HR department, you're the IT department, and you're not qualified really in any of them, but you do them all because you own the business. And my husband and I have a real estate team, so we have other agents that we mentor. And then we had, at this time, an employee to guide and encourage on the team as well. And of course, there's education. Even if it's stuff like this, coming to learn how to improve yourself and get information, new insight, or the boring mandatory training that we have to do. So that's, like any career, lots going on. Then on the family side, I had 2 kids. Well, I still have them. That never comes out right, and I haven't figured out what to say there. But nonetheless, I still have kids. At this time, my son was 5 and my daughter was 3. Kindergarten, preschool. Drop-off, pickup, right? Who's been in that circus before? And I always joke that I was probably the most efficient that I've ever been at that time because I only ever got maybe an hour and 10 minutes to do any actual work before I had to go pick someone up or drop someone off or get on the circus again. So that was going on. And then in 2013, the year before, my husband and I had created a program called Airdrie Angel. It's a charity in our city. And the whole idea is to give a hand up to a person or a family going through difficult times through no fault of their own. So that first year was a lot of boots on the ground. We got to let our sponsors know and get them engaged in the program so that we can help these people. And we wanted to reach out to our community to let them know, hey, this exists. If you know someone, nominate them. So a lot of work on that end. And then I was also involved with the 2014 Alberta Summer Games. Now, these games brought 3,200 athletes, coaches, and chaperones to Airdrie. They participated in 15 different sports over the course of 4 days. And all told, we fed them over 25,000 meals. It was a huge undertaking, and my role was vice chair. So I had to support our chair when he needed me as far as media or meetings or anything, really. But I also had a dozen board of directors to support. If they were going through a crisis, if they needed to figure something out, if they had to step down, guess who took over? This one. So I had to have a pulse on everything that was going on. And then if that's not enough on the plate, we decided to build a house. Because, why wouldn't you just throw that in the mix at this point? So there I was, 2014, completely overwhelmed and stressed out. And how many of you guys could relate to that? Just the, work, kids, family, volunteer, personal projects. It can be a lot. But here's the thing. We make it look good. We put on a cute outfit, we do our hair and makeup, sort of, with the dry shampoo, whatever. No, nobody has to know. But we make it look good, but it doesn't always feel good. And that's certainly how I felt. Because when I was working with my clients, I felt like I was letting down my board of directors. I wasn't getting back to them fast enough. I wasn't helping to solve the problem at hand on that day. When I was working with the games directors, I felt like I wasn't doing enough for Edge Angel. I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't building the website, which, P.S., I don't have qualifications to do, but it got thrown on my plate. I felt like I wasn't doing enough to build that program. And when I was working on Edge Angel, sitting at the island, typing away, my kids, Mom, can you come play? Yeah, just give me one more minute, just a second. Hang on, just wait. Right? You get frustrated. And when I finally had time to spend with my kids, I felt like I was letting my builder down because we hadn't picked what shade of grayish the damn walls were gonna be. So everywhere I looked, I felt like I was dropping the ball. And the thing that really got me was that when people would ask that question that everybody asks, how's it going? I hate that question. I would say, busy. So busy. Crazy busy. And I hated that because this is awesome stuff. Great career, happy, healthy family. You know, a cool charity that we've created. The games is so amazing. A house, shiny new things, hello, that's fun. But I was so overwhelmed, all I could say was busy. And that's when I knew something had to change. So I looked at this and I thought, okay, what's the problem here? What do we have to fix? What do we have to change? I decided it was my career. It's real estate. It's unpredictable, it's chaotic, it's feast or famine. That's the issue. We're gonna switch careers. So I left a successful career. I bought a bricks and mortar franchise model business, and I was dead wrong. Dead wrong. I actually hated the business I bought. That's a whole other talk, but yeah, I was completely wrong because it wasn't my job. That wasn't the problem. It was me. It was my approach. It was how I was managing my life and scheduling my life and the perspective I had to approach my life. So there I was, sitting in Good Earth Cafe in Airdrie. I now have left a career that paid the bills for a career that cost me money, a lot of it, and I still don't know this work-life balance. So I am watching the computer screen. It's blank. I'm expecting it to jump out and give me an answer. I've got my latte on the table and a cookie, because there's like literally always a cookie. There's one in my bag right now, but you're not allowed food or drinks. So I didn't know. I'm not gonna eat it in here, I promise, I swear to God. But there's always a cookie nearby. And it was that cookie that actually gave me my Oprah Winfrey aha moment. Because I looked at that cookie and I thought, there's 2 cups of flour in there. And I hope to God there's at least 2 cups of chocolate chips. I really hope there is. But there aren't 2 cups of vanilla. There aren't 2 cups of salt. And there aren't 2 cups of baking soda. There are different amounts of each ingredient. But when you get the right amount of the right ingredient, it tastes pretty good. So good, you eat half the dough and not even bake it, right? And I realized this is what life is like. It's not about having balance. It's about ratio. Life isn't about balance. It's about ratio. It's about figuring out what ingredients we need in our lives today and getting the right amounts of those things in our lives. For me, this aha moment, and today is the closest I'll ever get to Oprah Winfrey, but it was a cool moment for me because I realized I had a theory, a foundation. So I'm a systems person, so I started to work on a system right away. I was typing like mad. My fake nails were like down to the nubs by the end of the day. Because I wanted to create a program, a system for myself. I ended up turning that into an online program that helps other people. And I gotta say that's the pretty cool part for me. Because it's one thing to answer a question for yourself. It's one thing to figure something out for yourself and find your happiness. but it's something completely different to share it with other people. So I'm grateful that the journey eventually led there. It was a rough journey, but we got there. So I have this course. I get to share it. That's awesome. And since we don't have time to go through everything, what I want to do with you guys is share a really key piece about the course that I think is a good takeaway for you guys today. You guys in for that? Okay. So, statements of intent. This is kind of where we want to start. Now, a statement of intent is not a goal. It's really more about what you want to do, feel, see, be, even hear. Could be smell if you really want. It's a picture of your ideal self. So I often encourage people to write these in the present tense. And what we want to do is identify what it is that we want. You know, let's say you're talking about your kids. I connect with my kids every day. I'm home for school, home when they come home from school, rather. Or I have breakfast with them every morning. Or maybe I connect with them on the weekends and we have lunch together. For your relationship, it might be about a date night with your spouse. It could be something as far as your work, that you do work that encourages women and builds them up. Or that you have volunteer projects that are passionate and are something that you really care about deeply in your heart. They're statements about what you want your truth to be. And the goals we set ultimately get us to living that statement as truth. Does that make sense? So when we write a statement of intent, what we're really doing is defining success for ourselves. And that's the tricky part, because you define your success. You're responsible for that definition. It's so easy to let the media tell us what success is. I mean, movies, TV, they all tell us a story of what success should be. Even our friends, our family, or traditions. I mean, social media is the worst. You put a filter on anything, and next thing you know, it's successful. If I see one more of someone sleeping, come on. Come on. I know you just closed your eyes, but you look rested, so that must be success. But you have to figure out what your definition of success is, because what yours is different from yours, You each have a different definition of success. Have you guys ever seen this show on TV called Tiny House? It's hilarious. Basically, these people want to either buy or build a home that's like 300, 400, 500 square feet. Tiny. I think it's hilarious, because there would be a lot of bad if my family lived in that amount of space. But what I love about this show is that they're redefining success when it comes to our homes. Because what we normally picture is that other one, the big palatial home with a pool and a zillion bedrooms and a staff of 48 just to manage it all. But what's your definition? This show challenges that, and we can challenge that in every area of our life. So we really have to question, what is important to us? I don't want to come to the end of my life and think, well, I had the job they wanted, I had the house they said I should have, I went on the vacations they said I should go on, and it was meh. It was okay. I want to get to the end of my life, and I want to be excited about what I have done. I want to be proud that I lived where I wanted to, with whom I wanted to. I did what I wanted to do, and I had the things that were important to me in my life. Bronnie Ware wrote the book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. That's the number one regret. I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Sit with that for a second. I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. She interviewed people literally on their deathbed. And out of all the interviews, collectively, this was the number one regret. I certainly don't want to say that about my life. And I hope you don't either. I love talking about this because I really believe that if we all lived our definition of success, if we all were fearless enough to live the life that we envision, this world would be such a happy, healthy place. So If you want to keep the conversation going, connect with me there, connect with me here. It's all the same. There's no Instagram shots of me sleeping. What you see is what you get. But what I want to do is leave you guys with this. At the beginning, I used a recipe as an analogy to illustrate that our lives are like a collection of ingredients, and the things that we are focusing on in life right now are the ingredients themselves. And we have different amounts of each of them to make a good recipe. But as we go through life, we go through different ages and stages, and we grow. So maybe the ingredients that are important today change. Maybe you need a little bit more of one ingredient or a little bit less of something else. Maybe you need to swap out ingredients altogether. When we change the ingredients, we change the recipe. So what I hope for you is that when you get to the end of your life, you look back at it like a cookbook, and you see a collection of recipes that are maybe a little dog-eared, stained, well-loved, well-used, and you see it as a reflection of all the different times in your life, the different seasons, and you can say that was a delicious life. Thank you guys so much.